So, in my personal opinion, which means about as much to you as it does to me, this guy was one of the most underrated offensive defensemen of his era. I think he lived in the shadow of his brother because his brother was quite the goal scorer, but I think this gentleman ranks as a person that overproduced and basically was there to augment any offense because he could put up the points. We're going to talk about the offensive career of the very talented and very durable Dick Redmond. Now, Richard John Dick Redmond, the brother of Mickey Redmond, the Montreal Canadian and Detroit Red Wings star, was born August 14, 1949, in Kirkland Lake, Ontario. Now, he was raised in Peterborough, and that's where he came to prominence in his minor hockey career. He eventually was drafted 5th overall in 1969 after a season with the St. Catharines Hawks that saw him put up 102 points combined in the regular season and playoffs. And for a defenseman to get 42 goals and over 100 points in the season was pretty impressive. Now, this is where it comes totally bizarre. His draft year was 1969. He was 5th overall. Montreal picked him up, his draft number up from the LA Kings for 2 number 1 draft picks for Jerry Desjardins. Now, Montreal traded the pick to Minnesota for number 1, and the Stars took him. Now, he had some fine-tuning in Iowa in 1970, where he had 30 points in 56 games. 71, he was with the Barons for a while in Cleveland, and he only played 16 games in Minnesota those first 2 seasons, and for some reason they gave up on him, and he was traded to the California Golden Seals, where he really opened out. His second season with California, he ended up with 45 points in 74 games, and it was among league leaders for defensemen for points. Now, 73, Carolina passed him over as well, sent over to Chicago, where he broke the 10-goal mark again. That season, he had 44 combined points in 76 games. Now, in 74, he had 59 points in 76 games for Chicago, and his best season with Chicago was a couple of campaigns later in 77, where he broke the 20-goal mark with 47 points in 80 games. Now, after short stints in 78 with St. Louis, where he was injury-plagued, he eventually ended up with Atlanta later on in the season. Again, broke the 10-goal mark with 11 combined goals in 70 games. Now, his career really came to prominence in 79 when he moved on to the Boston Bruins. His first season, he had 33 points and led Boston all the way to the semifinals. The next 2 campaigns, very strong again, 47 and 35 points, with 14 goals and 15 goals respectively. But for some reason, his career faded in 82, and sometimes it happens in NHL where somebody's been in the league for 10 years. That's pretty well as much of their shelf life is. Now, he played in the 62 Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament with his Peterborough U team, and that impression allowed him to last as long as he did in the NHL. But what was kind of bizarre, ladies and gentlemen, you'd think he would be a good fit for Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver, or the other Canadian teams when the WHA joined, but for some reason it didn't work out. Now, what really stood out about Dick, he probably had one of the most underrated shots in NHL history, because I remember on the power play against Montreal, especially in that 1973 Stanley Cup Final Series, where he got 6 points including 4 goals. Devastating shot. Final NHL totals: 445 points in 771 games, including 133 goals, 31 points in 66 playoff games, including 9 goals. So a very consistent offensive defenseman. Again, 10 to 15 goals a year, 40 to 60 points a season. Rarely made a mistake. Would basically not be scared to go in the corners. The only comparison I would probably make is kind of like a Guy Lapointe. But I think what happened playing in some of the non-Canadian teams, the media wasn't on the radar, except when he came to Montreal, where Quebec media said if you don't stop Dick Redmond, Chicago or the Bruins are going to score. The idea is to stop the Chicago or Boston power play, which was very strong at the time. Dick was the quarterback for the majority of it on defense, and you had to stop him anyway. A very talented player and a very nice guy, from what I heard. Just like Mickey, very jovial. And when you're from Kirkland Lake, there's nice people over there. So, thanks for listening. Give me a like, comment, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. We're still building up our subscriptions towards monetization, so any way you can help. If we do monetize, it's going to be benefiting hockey throughout North America. We're going to try to make donations towards minor hockey and women's hockey programs as a thank you to you, the listeners, for supporting the channel. Have a good day. Bye.